Hello and welcome back to Most Wanted. It's Ari, and today we'll be talking about the infamous killer Otis Toole, who was dubbed the Jacksonville Cannibal. But before we get into this, here's a word from our sponsor, Ultimate Edge Knives. This knife has an edge of patented metal alloy matrix made by NASA, and it includes the ultimate strength of tuck skin. The knife is one of the sharpest in the world. It can slice and dice anything you want and is good for the kitchen or whatever else you want to use it for. Use our code ultimateedgeknife.com/murder to get 35% off your purchase. On March 5th, 1947, Jacksonville, Florida, an innocent baby boy was born, who would soon be called the Jacksonville Cannibal, Otis Toole. His childhood was traumatizing. He was sexually assaulted by everyone he thought he could trust. His father was an abusive alcoholic and did not care about his well-being, and soon later left his life and never came back. His older sister raped him before he turned 10, and his mother dressed him up as a girl and molested him and mocked him. He was forced to wear a dress to school to act feminine, but when he was older, he turned out to be gay, but his family was madly disappointed at him. Worst of all, his father sold him as a prostitute to a neighbor, and many others when he was only 5 years old. His grandmother was a Satanist and exposed him to various satanic practices and rituals like self-mutilation and grave robbing. To his family, he was dubbed the Devil Child. His horrible childhood could be why he started his killing spree. He killed his first victim in 1961 when he was only 14 years old and kept murdering till his capture in 1983. He was convicted for 6 different murders, but he confessed to over 100, but the exact number is still unknown to this day. He claimed to kill his victim in every single way imaginable, like satanic rituals and arson. He continued his occult practices throughout his life, not for religious reasons, but for the joy of hurting another human and watching their blood drip down their bodies. He ran away from home several times. When he was alone on the streets of Jacksonville, he killed people just because he hated to see them standing there. He had an IQ of 70, which puts him in the range for mild mental disability, and this could mean that his judgment was sufficiently impaired and turned murderous. When he was 10, he came out as gay and dropped out of school in the 9th grade. He decided to pursue the only thing that gave his life meaning and started visiting gay bars and became a sex worker. When he was 14, a salesman bought his body and drove him into the woods. Otis got scared and ran over the man in his own car. This was the first murder of many. After this, his mental state grew more and more chaotic. He was first arrested when he was 17 for loitering and petty theft. For him, killing became a habit, like smoking cigarettes. When he started killing, he couldn't stop. He went all across America murdering and killing, and practically ate all of his victims. His most gruesome murder was the murder of 2 unknown victims. He was driving from Florida to Georgia on an empty street at night. Otis was driving and saw 2 teenagers walking to the nearest gas station because the car had broken down. He drove up next to them and opened the window and shot the boy 6 times in the chest and 3 times in the skull. He took the girl and forced her into his car and shoved the dead boy's body into his trunk. He molested the girl and over again in his car. When he was finished, he shot her in the head twice and started to eat her body because the thought of cutting parts off a human was equivalent to cutting parts off an animal. He ate her body raw and buried the body's remains in the forest. In 1983, Otis Toole was captured and was sentenced to life in prison, but died in 1996 because of liver problems. Some say this may be due to his consumption of raw human meat. Well, that's all we have for today, folks. Tune in next time to Most Wanted for more murder stories.